Hello and welcome to the Diamond Tourney 2013 semifinals with Roslow and Tag Chosen. Roslow has definitely fought his way here, all the way to the semifinals, facing the likes of Lucian and BC Diep, before finally making it here to face Tag Chosen. And the map is Thawing Glaciers, and it looks like they've chosen cross spawns. The alternate will probably be playing across like this, or through the middle. But no, they'll be getting lots of expansions. Roslow going for a standard second air build. Their Tag Chosen going Seraphim will also be doing the standard second air build. We'll be reclaiming trees as well before expanding with those up from the engineers. But Roslow definitely going to go ahead and incorporate that Hydro into his build. That means he'll need less P-gens, so we'll only be going for 6 with the Hydro. So, interesting choice of factions on this map. We have Seraphim versus Cybrid. I think this is a fairly balanced map. It does have an inherent advantage to the Seraphim. Interesting, they've got mass wrecks. How many are there of those? One there, and quite a bit here. So grabbing those will be of some importance, as these players have to expand in tech. This is going to turn into a very late game spam tech 3, tech 4 fest very quickly, as these players are so far apart. On this 20 by 20 map, Roslow's Hydro will give him a lot of power early on. This would let him get very fast transport if that's what he wished, or bombers and antis, whatever you prefer. Tag Chosen is going to definitely do some raiding groups, but Low doesn't care. He's like, yeah, I'll just NGs. And a very fast transport with all that power. Definitely affordable. Whereas Chosen will have to go with some inties and then get more power with the ACU because he's neglecting the Hydro. Not necessarily a worse thing. He always get the Hydro later. Plus this will give him enough air scouts to survey things, possibly spot the transport. Now loaded up with the full 6 engineers, moving out to the bottom right expansion. Actually, no, not at all. Moving out to grab mass wrecks. We'll be dropping an NG everywhere there's a mass wreck and then returning home. Not looking to grab map control, but rather grab mass. Chosen. Really no reclaim for him yet. He sent small groups out to gather the reclaim. But other than that, we're not seeing too much. And the land spam from below down in this area. Definitely looking to control these 2 expansions. That looks like land. Badoop. And Tag Chosen will just barely spot the Tech 1 transport, shooting it down, though it does not have any engineers in it. Roslow, going ahead. Most of these factories are in NG production. He's got 5 NGs on power spam, using all the mass and reclaim in the world. This is just shooting up. He's spending all of it. How much teching is going on here? Surprisingly minimal amounts of teching. Mostly just building power to utilize it. Whereas Tag Chosen, he is going to not use much reclaim at all. Interesting. He put a map marker here. Didn't label it. Marks where the mass is. As Low has gotten all his reclaim he needs. We'll be starting out of the land spam. I can only imagine the APM and attention these players must have to even manage these maps. Because you've got several bases going on, land spamming simultaneously, drops happening all the time, mass extractors to build, ACUs to upgrade. Might we see a comm drop? Can't tell if that's mass or texture. Looks like a texture. Drop's definitely being spotted by Tag Chosen. Yeah, allowed to show him reclaim his radar. Note the Tech 1A did not stop the transport. You need 2 Tech 1As if you want to stop a Tech 1 transport from flying overhead. Hunters will be put out of their misery, although not without doing some map control damage. A little bit behind on the map control, but he's got 10k reclaim. He does not care for map control. Map control is for mortals. And slow win. Maybe. Although the lack of reclaim for Tech Chosen is definitely a bit disturbing. Although he does have the map control to make it up, I'll give him that. Hunter is causing him problems, but those will be cleaned up eventually with enough radar coverage. And tanks. Both players putting factory spams in weird and uncertain locations. There's multiple transports flying all over the map for Zillow. I was going to go as far as to put attack a Tech 1 mech in Chosen base. 4 NG drops coming out. Massive amounts of air factories. I assume this is effective in Diamond mod. This map control definitely in favor of Chosen. In terms of how much he's utilizing it, map control is actually quite even. Well, there's just none of these mechs have been taken by Swkoll. Swkoll makes up for it in the fact that he's got Tech 2 power. He has 5 Tech 2 mechs versus Chosen's no Tech 2 power and 2 Tech 2 mechs. That's mostly due to the fact that Swkoll 14k reclaimed. That's 10,000 more, 11,000 more. Huge difference. Where's he getting at this point? Is there any even left? And land spam will be denied for Tag Chosen in this position. If he's definitely having trouble, there is Tech 2 land in this spam position, and he's building a couple rhinos, which will be able to dispatch the Tech 1 with mild ease. Maybe. Diamond patch. Bomber's definitely controlling this area for Swkoll, as he's starting in yet another Tech 1 with just a single factory to spam Mantis. Interesting, the Mantis symbol has been replaced by the tank symbol. Three bombers coming out. So we're looking to target mexes. Or double bomb the lead. Of course, there are so many bombers as well with quite nice air control. Having multiple amounts of bombers. Tech 2 air now coming out from Swkoll. Tech Chosen must be getting a little bit worried. He's losing to bombers and to tanks. He's getting... well, there's a bit of dropping that Chosen can do. But the gunships have no mercy. These bombers with getting a large amounts of kills can easily take out the Tech 1 forces in that area. At this point, you have to start wondering about a viability of sniping Chosen. Chosen very exposed with the ACU, does not have the air control or the NT count. NT count is at 6, Swkoll at 24. Swkoll completely has map air control at this point. Just so many bombers. So many bombers. Roslow. 32 bombers. That's enough to snipe a comm. Don't want to touch that. It's a dangerous amount of Tech 1 bombers. And just absolutely massive air control. So much stuff. An air fight over Tech Chosen's flak will be a win for Roslow. Tech Chosen attempting to out-tech Zlo at this point, but now Zlo with map control. That just won't be happening. Tech to flak, Tech to land. Everything is slowly falling apart for Chosen as his efforts to get into the semifinals will be dispatched by the beauty that is Tech 1 Bomber spam. And getting tons and tons of early reclaim. The victory here definitely comes down to the fact that Roslow definitely knew how to play this map, and Tech Chosen just wasn't as experienced with it. As the forces move in, there's nothing really to fight them. They could go after the commander at this point. Tech 2 flag being spammed up by Chosen. It's an emergency. He's getting all the flag he can. I don't think it'll be enough. There's just so much stuff going on. Tech 1 flag can counter Tech 2 gunships, but the bombers, just mass bomber, will take out the Tech 2 flag, or the Tech 1 flag. And now the Tech 2 land is pushing in on Chosen's location. Does he have overcharges? I don't even know if he bothered to get them on this map. He does. I Chosen with lots of power. That's what? I don't even know. Factories give energy storage, maybe. And Tech Chosen will go down in an 18-minute game versus Roslow. Worst game ever by me. Not quite sure. Took 3 air coming out from Roslow. Good job. I'm disappointed by your lack of strap bombers snipe. Anyway, not really, but I'm going to move on to game the other semifinal. So thank you for watching. And stay. Hello and welcome to semifinal of the second bracket between BC Blackheart versus Jan on Thawing Glacier again. Blackheart leading slightly in the rating, as we saw in the last match. It all depends on who can get that early reclaim, who can utilize that reclaim to win air, and to have several ongoing land spams, winning several different locations in several different battles at once. Blackheart going with a, I assume is a Hydro build, so the 6 gens. Doing exactly as loaded on the previous map. Where's Jan? Jan will be taking a 6, also a Hydro build, it appears, with an extremely early radar. Interesting. Is the radar really cheap in this? Radar is still moderately expensive. I don't know why Jan felt the need to get such an early radar and such an early AA turret. Perhaps he's anticipating a first bomber out of UEF Blackheart. I'm not quite sure. He's going to put an AA turret and then getting his air factory. Not exactly sure the mindset behind that, but I'll trust him. He's got 2,000 rating, so he might know what he's doing. Might. Hopefully. Engaging the Hydro with 1 NG. Not the most efficient thing you can do. Blackheart definitely going to come out with that very early transport that he needs. With all the power that he has. Oh, he can easily afford this. Lacking on the NG count though. We'll be putting 3 energies on the transport and dropping to the mass as we saw loaded in his previous game, winning against Tag Chosen. So Zlo will be going into the finals versus whoever wins this match. Blackheart already ahead with the transport drops. Where's Jan? Going ahead. And he'll just be building a lot of power, doing a land spam in his base, as opposed to somewhere else on the map. Blackheart will also be doing a land spam inside of space. And Bomber from Jan will definitely spot these energies, but Blackheart has gotten the reclaim he needs. He wasted most of it. But 4K reclaimed versus 1.5. And Bomber from Jan will not manage to get into Blackheart's base, but Blackheart's transport won't return either. Very large raiding groups from Jan with the Mech Marines. Mech Marines much better in Diamond than in FAF. They serve a better role on large maps. But Jan is sending his ACU south, with Blackheart keeping it in his base to build as much power as physically possible. So much power being made here. Blackheart already pulling ahead. 300 power lead, and now Jan about to take over this position with his labs. No, Jan going to opt not to. He's going to position them here. Could have done damage there, well, before the land spam from Blackheart arrived. He's just gonna put them around nexus, which is a safe thing to do, given he does not have the intel he probably wants. And we'll even maybe pick up an NG kill here. Blackheart will go ahead and drop to the top left expansion. 2 labs waiting for him, but those can be cleaned up. Oh, they ran past. Nope, no kills. But Jan, knowing about this, will be able to send his mantas into position. He will be able to get up before the Tech 1 point defense. It'll be close, it'll be close. Looks like the Tech 1 point defense will not get completed. Jan will be able to secure this position, getting map control and more favorable arrangement. Jan still without that reclaim. It's still lying on his side of the map. Blackheart hasn't really made a play for it yet, but I expect he might, or he might feel he has everything he needs to gain Tech 2 on the ACU, and large amounts of power spam. It's a lot of mass and P-gens. As we see Jan will be playing defensively. Definitely moving ahead. Blackheart has the eco advantage, but Jan has several armies which Blackheart doesn't really have an answer to. Taking out this position would be quite nice, as well as controlling that. Questionable land fight might occur up here, as Blackheart and Jan duke it out. Blackheart leave inferior positioning. He might correct that if he sees Jan's forces. Jan with numbers as well probably will win. And now Blackheart with a drop will be taking Jan's reclaim. But Blackheart with some very nice raiding, coming around the sides, and cleaning up Jan's forces here, and reinforcements of Blackheart doing nice work up top. Jan now moving around the side, Blackheart continually uses sports, continually using the drops. He needs to keep pressure on Jan, using his control, taking away from Jan's attention. Transports are the counter to your opponent's attention. They're tough to deal with, annoying, and they can definitely cause a lot of problems. Tech 2 air now out from BC Blackheart. Well, Tech 1 will be able to clean up these forces. And it looks like we'll have the Tech 1 air fight. If Jan wins this, he can definitely come back. By using his own air, but it looks like numbers for Blackheart. These players do get out, but even Micro will not be enough for Jan, as he did not have enough inties to necessarily win that, and he's now out of that fight. Another battle going on over here. Not very good positioning for Jan, so he might win, but reinforcements can easily clean that up. Jan continually doing more drops, more transports, trying to regain map control, which is really kind of even at this point. But Blackheart with superior teching he's almost ready to make his transition to Tech 3 air. He's got the 4K power necessary to do that. With the 4 Tech 2 P-Gens with a lot of Tech 1. Now he has made the transition to Tech 3 air, spamming off ASF. And then Jan cannot really come back from that. He sees the scout, he sends his entire army across the map, desperately trying to control things. But alas, it just won't be his day. As Jan, who's fallen behind on the teching, just didn't get the reclaim. Looking at the reclaim numbers now, Jan with 4K, Blackheart with a large and dangerous 12K. You can do a lot of things with 8,000 mass. Like, if we look at the mass class for a Tech 2 P-Gen, that's 1,200 mass. So, you can build about 6 of those, which can easily get you into the late Tech 3, or the mid Tech 3R stage. Well, your opponent still hasn't built any of those. More importantly, it can get you Tech 2 mass extractors. Mass extractors about 1,000 apiece. Oh, nice position coming out from Jan here. Blackheart forced to retreat. Not very effective for Blackheart, but he will still win it. Or possibly win the engagement locally. Oh, nice force from Jan, but no artillery here. Won't be able to break through the Tech 1 point defense. Lots of artillery down here, where they're needed though. As Strat Bombers now being masked for Blackheart will be going after Jan's ACU. Jan amassing Corsairs. Also be doing some counter snipe, but the Strat Bombers do come in. We'll be getting some nice vet. Air fight goes off. He only gets hit twice. Strat Bombers come around for another pass. Jan goes down into the yellow, dodging going off, but it won't be enough. GG. And the final Strat Bomber will finish him off. Making the finals Blackheart versus Low. Unplayable. What? No. Perfectly playable. Just have to get the mass. I'm not very experienced with the diamond balance. It might be too much for UEF, but I'm not quite sure. So thank you for watching the semifinal. Stay tuned for the final, and here we go. Hello and welcome to the Borderlands Overcast. I'll be your host, Swkoll, and today we're looking at the Diamond Tourney finals. We have BC Blackheart, the pirate from British Columbia, and in the bottom we have RA's Low, or just is Low for most people. He has a nice channel, I'll probably link it in the description. Blackheart also, he does nice streams, terribly underwatched. He usually only gets like a dozen concurrent viewers. It's terrible. He is currently our best player at the top of the global ladder, I believe, with a rating that is kick-ass. Where's Swkoll? Not too far behind. Swkoll going to go out with a first inti out of a first air factory and a second naval factory. Obviously, changing things up for this game. Diamond mod completely rebalances everything. I don't even know. Like, there's so many things that have changed. It's like, it takes the 3603 balance, and then it changes that. So the current FAF balance is, like, completely different to this balance. Not even sure what's viable. This is Rush Island 2011. It is supposed to be a free-for-all map. This version apparently has taken all the mass out of the middle and has a giant crater. Little islands with 5 mexes each on them. And just so much mass to take over, it's kind of silly. With enough reclaim to keep your early economy afloat, should be no problem. Blackheart going first transport, pauses it when he sees the interceptor, builds a static AA turn, and then he'll resume the transport. Swkoll with more aggressive ACU. We'll get landfall minute 4. But Blackheart, if he gets a lot of these islands, that would be trouble for Swkoll, but Swkoll already out with the drops. He's planning to send this transport to drop to these islands and to the main island. With engineers walking up and taking over the sides. Ooh, does Swkoll spot the transport leaving? I don't think he did. Transport will drop 3 NGs. And 3 NGs, so 1 engine each spot. Looks like it all depend on where Blackheart. Excuse me, I'll try that again. It will all depend on where Blackheart sends his transport. There we go. Swkoll going to start land spam up on the top with a fairly heavy naval spam. 2 naval factories, and Blackheart doesn't have 1. But Blackheart slightly ahead in the land spam. Transports see each other. How does this NG react? He's like, oh no, I'm dead. And an NG manages to find Swkoll's transport, and it will go down, losing both of the NGs. Allowing Blackheart to take that island. An early win here will grant Blackheart a little bit more map control, especially in the later game, but there's so much map control in this map, it won't matter too much in the early game. This is the only map where 6-minute labs can even be remotely effective, or perhaps this is some sort of thing with the balance, or like labs really good. Though a bomber from Swkoll, these NGs are quite clumped up together. Blackheart spreads just in time. We'll take out none of them with the UEF bomber. Can't hit anything for the life of it. So doing the same thing with the Violent. He wants to even out the map control, but bomber already on the way from Blackheart. Mostly tanks, and oh, that's a defensive drop. There's no NGs in that. Swkoll with very little land spam. Blackheart going complete all-out land spam. He's got 6 factories, and Swkoll completely content to spam mech marines. Blackheart going to take control of the middle quite early on. Bomber following the transport. It drops only to realize there's nothing to actually kill. This bomber has something to kill. Attempts to spread from Blackheart. Very successful. We'll keep everything alive. Mech Marines now out. Seems quite a bit faster than normal Mech Marines. I don't know. Swkoll now switching to tanks, and he'll just be building power here. He's totally okay with not doing anything. Blackheart now getting into the water. He's got a Tech 1 sub out. Transport's looking to even out map control. Map control currently in the favor of Blackheart, with the mid and this island secure. And Blackheart's ACU being fairly aggressive. Both players struggling to get power up, as there's so much mass to use. Realizing the mass is most important. It's minute 8, and let's count the Tech 2 mass structures from these players. So Tech 1, click it. It's just 1. I'm checking if Blackheart are doing. Already, no, actually no Tech 2 mass structures, just dealing with the Tech 1. Mech Marines continue to be effective. Marine hit squads on the move. We just have to stay out of the way of tanks. And nice use of subs, trying to take out the artilleries with them, but you have to dodge with the subs. Otherwise they're pretty useless. And frigates will force these forces away from the islands. Bombers will secure this island, but map control is still in favor of Blackheart. Especially due to this land spam, he will eventually win this land spam fight. He's low content not to really build much. Although he's going for Tech 2 land at minute 10. We're seeing a Tech 2 out of Blackheart. Blackheart with a lot more mass though. Running an additional 5 or so land factories off of that. Maybe 6 or 7. That's what the extra mass is getting from this island and from the middle. Looking at reclaim. Blackheart leading by about 1,000. What's low has a frigate that's quite close to Blackheart. Blackheart building emergency Tech 1 front to drive away the frigate. And now it's started. Blackheart is shooting at Zulu's land factories. Cannot keep these alive, even with pillars. I'm assuming pillars have the same role. Was low now with Tech 2 in the middle, and vastly out land spammed. We'll have to see how he manages to figure this out. He's going Tech 2 Navy. Is there Tech 2 Navy planned from Blackheart? Not immediately, but a lot of Tech 1 naval spam. As pillars roll in, we'll be able to do not much damage, just mainly delaying the land force. Slow trying to build Tech 2 point defense, realizing that there's no time for that. Slow struggling to hold on to his foothold here. Trying to make the map control count by destroying these islands. But that isn't going to get him too far now that there are 4 subs from Blackheart. Alright, sub Sam needs to get Cooper. Cooper is on the way. Zulu making very little investment into this. Perhaps that's part of his plan. Get Blackheart to build way too much stuff. Way too many tanks. And then Zulu comes out with an advantage. Even though Blackheart is using their map control. At this point, Zulu definitely needs to get around to these side islands. Take them back. Tech 2 Navy now out for Zulu. Where's the Hoover? Perhaps comes at night? Must have. Zulu continues to hold on to the position, completely losing middle map control. And he's way behind in power as well. Down to half. No transition to Tech 2 air from Blackheart, but I doubt he really feels he needs it. This pillar's gonna go ahead doing a lot of overkill on the Tech 1 tanks. a little bit confused with his ACU, not exactly sure what he's doing. That's a take 2 sub symbol. Can the Cooper emerge? I don't think so. Sorry, just threw me a bit off. Now, Pillars will desperately try to hold up against the Tech 1 tanks, but no, it's just not going to happen. Mass Tech 1 tanks will eventually break that down. Well, with some nice jumps, we'll manage to retake some of map control. But is it enough to make it count? That's really the question. Blackheart leading by huge numbers now at this point. The only thing Low has going for it is his Navy, which could kill all of this. He just needs to walk all the way around the map and get into position. Armor's gonna get cleaned up, but the bomb goes off, and the engine gets cleaned up. I'll deny a lot of map control for at least 4 or 5 mass detectors for his low. It's 10 mass per second. He really needs that income right now. Although he is trying to catch up to Blackheart, getting Tech 2 power in the middle. As he's interesting, he's lost. Is there TML about? No, but there's massive hordes of Tech 1 artillery. That will not be fun. Troopers being brought in. I don't suppose these have any sort of... They don't have any guns, though. Can't really shoot at the floating artillery. What did you get out of there? It looks like his little will play more defensively with his Navy. Just taking out this position will be good enough for him. Perhaps wanting a battleship, not battleship, destroyer, before he gets something up in walls coming up from Zlo. Definitely going to hold a very small beachhead position here. Tech 2 Navy as well. Is there any Tech 2 Navy? But looking at the inti counts, Blackheart sitting at 39 intis as well. Oh, a small 13 intis, so 3 times the air control for Blackheart, and just if he can use that effectively against the Tech 2 air, I don't see how Zlo can necessarily come back from this, but there's always a possibility of a snipe. Tech 2 air now coming out from Blackheart. Blackheart's ACU is currently hiding somewhere. Let us find it. It's hiding. That's not a very good hiding spot. How did I miss that? Blackheart going to push directly into Zlo's position. There's definitely a possibility of a snipe here. Zlo just can defend against this. The walls will buy him some time. So we'll check the point defense. There are no more missile launchers, so overcharges from Blackheart's ACU will be a valuable tool. Now leading so much in mass. A Tech 2 gun. Zlo's got to make something count. He's got to make it count now. Walls being quite effective. Blackheart taking a bit of damage to the ACU. The gunship's now being brought in. Air control locally in favor of Zlo. Zlo needs to use that. Otherwise, he'll lose his terribly important Tech 1 mass extractor. But Blackheart recharging his health and overcharging the units. Losing all those Tech 2 point defense, Tech 2 point defense, using the walls to their advantage. Is it enough? Oh, an air fight. There's nowhere near enough numbers for Zlo. Blackheart clearly has the advantage here, but is there any Tech 2 flak? Oh, there is a Tech 2 flak. It's getting loads of kills. But will it be enough? No, not really. As Blackheart continues to push forward, Zlo spamming up Tech 2 point defense as fast as he can. Just isn't enough. He has to keep this alive. But Blackheart, he's running out of units. Blackheart's running out of units. This is a big problem. As Zlo, if he got some gunships, maybe he could do something with this. Blackheart's getting completely surrounded. He's gonna completely surrounded with Tech 1. His army's out of position. Oh my! And Blackheart, with complete map control, completely throws the diamond tourney final. Wow. Amazing Slow. That was fantastic. I imagine Slow being all smug, just like, okay, yeah, I'm not gonna land spam. Just you do that. Just you come to me. I'll kill you with take 2 point defense. Well, amazing plays from both these players. Oh my gosh, that was fantastic. Thank you, Slow. You've made my day. Well, I guess that's a game. It's a game, I guess. Thank you for watching, and good night.